Welcome to Gotham by Night. Tonight's episode is called Green Thumbs. Gardening. Something so simple. You put seeds in the ground, water it, toil it, nurture it, take care of it. So, later on, it will be able to provide for you, take care of you, nurture you. Some make apples, some make oranges, some make wheat, and some grow into just harmless, pretty flowers. The bees come, they pollinate, they move on, they wither, they die, only for new life to take its place. Gardening is something that people are beginning to lose sight of. They don't understand its importance, or perhaps they do, they just don't care. In 2025 Gotham, there are no bees. And that is a disastrous problem. Thankfully, Wayne Corporation has provided, at least for now, a band-aid solution for the lack of natural pollination. It's unsustainable. It's overly complicated. But for now, the florists can keep selling, and the locations in which there is controlled growth can continue doing what they do. But it isn't the same. Mother Nature has been dealt a damaging blow, stunting her growth, her influence, her love, perhaps irreversibly, and perhaps forevermore. We bring our attention to someone known as Sage, the name being that of a particular herb, a particular plant, sometimes used in cooking, sometimes used for a more spiritual side of things, to cleanse an area of bad spirits, bad vibes, bad energy. Perhaps their name is an indicator as to who they are as a person. Pure, safe, a guardian, a guide. Or perhaps it's a lie, and they're a truly terrible person. There is only one way to know. So let's find out. Sage, it is approximately 3 p.m. What is it that you do on a normal day-to-day basis?
Well, speaking of gardening, that's actually her job. So if it's a regular, ordinary day, I imagine she'd be at work at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
She'd be working at either in the garden itself, trying to like winter-proof things, or um, in the conservatory itself, in the new plantings or such things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So one of those two places. Take your choice, whichever works best for you.
No, this is up to you. Where do you think she would be at this time? What calls to her?
Well, I think it makes probably more sense because winter's pretty much not going to be stopped at this point. So yeah, she's probably inside. They probably have taken the plants that are too delicate to stay outside and come back, and brought them
Mhm.
in. So she's probably trying to, strengthen them essentially as she's taking care of them. She's mulching, she's watering, she's pruning as needed, even though she hates pruning, but it's needed.
Mhm.
And even if nobody else is around, or if someone is around, if they're not, whatever, because she's not the only gardener,
Mhm.
there's definitely she's she's definitely humming as she's doing it, because she knows the plants rather well. They like music, so she hums for them. She would be singing if there's not anybody else around.
Mhm. The perhaps it's wind. Perhaps it is the subtle manipulations of your hands. Perhaps it is some kind of vibration through the ground, or perhaps it's something much more whimsical and inexplainable. But as you hum, you sense that you sense and see that these plants rustle and move. You have a feeling that they are enjoying the pampering that you're giving them, though perhaps they don't understand why. There are leaves that do need to be taken away so that corruption and rot does not compromise the rest of the integrity of the plants. You water them generously, but not too much as to cause damage. You go through your regular routine to make sure that these beautiful succulents and whatnot survive the incoming winter. You hear it is going to be one of the more brutal ones this year. Should she believe in climate change, it could perhaps have something to do with that. Or maybe it's just bad luck. You hum, you bring yourself peace through rhythm of familiarity of your actions. The others, mm, maybe in the beginning, they thought it was a bit odd, but in the end, they almost joined you. They have their own hums that they provide for the plants, although maybe it is less for the plants and more to entertain themselves.
She'll
Whatever
take
the
it either
case,
way.
yeah, whatever the case, the plants are liking it nonetheless. You you do your job masterfully, delicately, just as you always do. Um, but you get a one of the bosses or one of the people that own this place um, kind of comes up to you uh, with a message, or at least they seem like they have something to say to you.
Yeah, I mean, she'll pause in what she's doing and turn around. Hi.
Hi. It is an older gentleman, perhaps in his 50s or more. Um, Caucasian, deep wrinkles, age spots are beginning to form. Not too many and not too prominent, but they're beginning. Um, Silver hair, of which is receding in a comical way. Um, People have come to call him Uncle Green due to his ownership of this place. Um, he gives you a warm smile, just as he does with everyone, and he will continue. Hi, Sage. I hope I'm not uh, bothering you too much.
Um, no, of course not. I was just working on these. As she sort of gestures at the plants over there.
Hmm. I've noticed that whichever section that you are in charge of, they show extra health. I don't know what it is that you do. Maybe you're just blessed, but you do an exceptional job, dear.
Oh, well, thank you.
Of course. Um, I just wanted to come on by first to see how you're doing, if you needed any more supplies.
Oh, no, I'm okay for now. I
Hmm.
I mean, sure, there's always more things that we could use, but I mean, the regular supplies are fine.
Hmm. Well, okay, that's good. And I actually have a message that
Mm.
I meant to pass on. You see, there is the financial side of things have been a bit tough. What with the Wayne Corporation nutrients that we have to feed and provide for our little green babies, so that they can continue. It's getting tough, but I managed to find a connection. Actually, she almost found me, but she will be coming by, and I thought that it would be a good opportunity to maybe network, um, you and her. Um, I am gonna have to ask that you remain a little longer than usual. This would really help the business and the greenies.
Oh, I mean, of course, like this is important. Of course, I'll stay.
Thank you so much.
I'm not
It's
I'm not really dressed for that though. As she kind of gestures at her like jeans t-shirt with like an apron on. You know, it's very gardeny clothing. You're gonna get
oh
dirty.
no, I'm sure she wouldn't mind. I'm sure that she'll want to get her hands dirty in the soil, as well. Just an inspection of sorts. From what I hear, she's very good at this kind of thing. But hopefully all goes well. I'm counting on you. Uh,
She kind of looks surprised at this because she just thought she was one of the many, random gardeners in this place.
mm-hmm.
She'll just nod and, attempt a smile, a polite smile.
Mm-hmm. He will give a smile back, and seems genuinely thankful that you would spend some more time, um, some overtime, I guess, to speak with this individual. And then he will turn around and he will leave in the way he came. The rest of the day goes by without any other interruptions. You are able to prune, soil, place, protect, water, fertilize, mulch, all kinds of things, that you are usually tasked with doing, all without pause or interruptions or complications. The other gardeners begin to file out. They say goodbye to you. They wave, or some of the ones that just come in for the paycheck they just leave like robots. Um, and soon enough, about 3-4 hours after your conversation with Uncle Greeny, so about 6-7 p.m., um, you hear. Hmm. Hmm.
I'm just going to mention for now because she would have taken the time to at least wash her hands because she does not use gardening gloves. It's been established in other scenes. Like pretty much every other gardener does. She does not. She likes her hands in the soil.
Mm-hmm.
So she
So
washes her hands, but there's still like dirt in her nails. There's almost never a time that there's not dirt in her nails.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Then maybe it would have been extra interesting to hear from Uncle Greeny that this woman, this benefactor that's coming over, might want to put her hands in the soil. So, like,
Mm-hmm.
maybe you found someone that has similar tactics as you, or a similar love for the gardening.
Or perhaps a similar Fey side, but we'll see.
Yes, we'll see. Um, But yes, you're just kind of tilling around, waiting for something, a notice, a knock, you know.
I'll just say
Uh,
she's reading a book on like plants or something because she actually has botany, so why not?
mhm. And you're just reading, some facts, some very interesting facts about, certain plants here or there. But then you hear the door open and then close.
She'll look up and close the book at the same time.
Hmm. You see, of course, when everyone left, blinds closed. Like it was essentially all kind of shut and closed. It's just the front door was left unlocked. So no one from outside can really bother you by peering in and, interrupting your space. But yes, the door is opened. A cool breeze rushes in. The door closes. And it is then locked. It is a womanly figure um, with peculiar features, um, very peculiar features. She has a very curvaceous body, perhaps like that of a model. Her hair is about reaches down to the middle of her back, and has these kind of natural waves to them, and is a deep kind of rose coloration. Her eyebrows are plucked. She clearly cares about her personal hygiene and personal appearance. But what is very peculiar is the coloration of her skin. Um, it seems to have a slight undertone of maybe a green, uh, not so much as a sickly color, but there is a green hue, and there appears to be some, like a leaf here or there, possibly a tattoo. Her
She's
makeup
she's not
is
dressed like that, is she?
no, she is dressed. The color theme is the same. It is very red and green, Christmas colors. But she wears it well. She has a red. The shirt that she's wearing. The blouse that she's wearing is kind of the same thing, except it is buttoned, not just one button. Um, and she appears to be wearing some kind of uh, jeans, long jeans with some tears in them. There's this air about her. It's strange, but it's not bad. She's very, very attractive on
Yeah.
multiple levels.
She's gonna set her book down and stand up, because that's how introductions really should be done in most cases.
Mm-hmm.
So she'll take a few steps towards her. She's assuming that Uncle Green,
Mm-hmm.
um, like it let her know that somebody would be here. So
Mm-hmm. They fit the general description of what he would say. I mean, he said it was going to be a beautiful young woman with red hair, and she seems to fit the bill.
hmm yeah, she's just gonna walk towards her and be like, "Hi, and by the way, does Uncle Green know he's called Uncle Green? Like, is this something you would say normally?"
Yeah, everyone
Okay.
knows.
I didn't know if we would call him a proper name, just called him that behind his back.
No, no, no.
Okay. She'll just be like, Uncle Green said you were coming, right?
Yes, darling. Thank you for having me. I hope I didn't bother you too much. I know it's getting late.
No bother at all.
Good. Who are you?
Um, I'm Song Yi, but most people call me Sage because I'm just rather good with this, as she gestures around her.
Yes, I see that you are.
Do you?
Sage. What a what a lovely name. A beautiful plant, in my opinion. Has so many healing properties. Helps so many people. And it doesn't taste half bad either.
You're not wrong. May I ask your name?
Oh, people just call me Ivy. So I guess you can too.
Well then, we're both blessed with plant names. Look at us.
Yes. I guess we're just lucky. I would just like to inspect the grounds. Uncle Green, he made a couple claims to me in private that I just want to authorize and validate. I hope you don't mind me getting my fingers dirty.
You seem like someone who would make sure that the plants are well taken care of. I don't think you'd hurt them.
No, no, I would never do anything to hurt them.
Sure. Tell me what you want to look at, and I'll be happy to take you there.
Let's go with something simple and beautiful. Let's start with the roses. I have a bit of a bias, as you can see. And she kind of does like this hair flip, this kind of humorous moment. But you see some kind of, maybe it's glitter, maybe it's snowflakes from outside that kind of fling off of her hair and drift around. Maybe it's pollen.
It's something that she's going to take a note of where some lands and come back to look at later
Mm-hmm.
because she's curious.
Mm-hmm.
um, but yeah, see, I don't know enough about plants to know if like we would have some of those in here or if they're outside and the roses don't actually have roses because it's winter.
I think that there would be some inside. I think that they would be kind of in a controlled environment, maybe.
Okay.
Or it could be outside and they're just kind of they've
Dormant.
wilted and they're yeah. Um,
Okay.
so yeah, I think we're gonna go with
You can go with both if you want.
yeah.
Because she, in that case, she'll just be. It probably depends on the species or something.
Hmm.
But she'll
Yeah,
just
she
be like,
wants to look at the red, the white, the black.
well, she's yeah. So she'll just Sage will just be like, well, we have some in here that will actually still bloom, although not as frequently because they're inside. Um, but they're in the greenhouse. Um, but there's also some outside if you prefer to see something in a bit more of a natural setting.
Oh, the one the beauties outside. Is it a private space?
It's the public gardens, but it's closed to outsiders right now.
Yeah, yes. Well, yes, let's have a look outside first, and then we'll go to the greenhouse.
She nods, and she'll lead the way out towards where there are roses planted.
Hmm. She'll follow. She is pleasant to be around. There is no indication that there is some kind of financial predation or ill will upon Uncle Greeny's business. In fact, you notice that she kind of dawdles and lingers around some of the other plants during the travel from where you were to where the roses are kept. And she seems to just be captivated and drawn to all different kinds of plants, kind of taking a moment to admire them.
Yeah, I mean, she's just gonna walk. Like she'll walk ahead, but like to lead. But like she's just gonna go along with whatever Ivy wants. To her, it's It's the garden. This feels way more like home than where she sleeps at.
Mm.
So
What a beautiful collection that you have here. All so gorgeous and masterfully maintained.
the gardeners here work very hard,
Mm.
and there's a lot to keep up with. But thank you.
Yes, of course. It's a shame that the bees, unable to do what nature had created them to do, the greed of mankind killed them off, stunted our children, I guess you could say.
Not gonna lie, there's definitely a look of massive. There's a look of anger that crosses her face when Ivy says that, and she's just gonna nod. Yes, we need to find some way to bring them back or find a more permanent solution.
Oh, darling, didn't you hear?
I guess not. I'm pretty new.
The bees are dead, darling.
Oh, no, that I knew. But, I mean, with cloning and such, wouldn't it be possible if they had DNA?
I suppose it just seems so unnatural. A man has interfered so much so far. I feel like that would just make things worse. They need to just let nature run its course, in my opinion.
The
It's all
problem
this
is,
meddling that's been ruining everything.
I mean, I agree with you, but at the same time, nature running its course now would pretty much mean that we give up on these plants. They would die eventually of old age, and there will be no new ones because of the pollen problem.
That's true.
I'd rather
It's a,
have any solution better than no solution.
just between us girls, I may have found a substitute. Something much more natural than the chemicals that Wayne Corporation produces. It's brilliant. I've tested it. Well, I've had control groups and I've had massive success. I'm thinking of branching out, maybe eliminating the need for Wayne Corp's chemicals and instead employ this natural substitute. It's amazing what cures nature can bring if only you know where to look.
You got my attention? What is it?
Oh, but I can't let you know. It's a secret. In this world, I've learned that you tell someone something, and the likelihood of that getting out and being stolen, and the credit's not yours. No, unfortunately, I have to remain quiet, at least for now. But maybe sometime soon, you'll see.
Would I be able to see the results of the substance, at least?
Oh, absolutely. She actually takes out a phone. It is a rather dated phone, actually, not a smartphone or anything like that. Well, I guess actually because it's 2025, it would be a smartphone, but it is several editions behind. And she seems to not appreciate using it. But she unlocks it and she goes into her photo album, and she shows you one picture, and it is of a, let's say it is of a let's continue with the violets. They're violets.
Sure.
And they're sickly looking. They are not looking too good. dying, wilting. The coloration's just off. There are pustules or some kind of growth that's going on them. And you just see her face, and it's a mix between despair and rage and frustration. You can hear it in her voice when she speaks. This is what happens when Wayne Tech goes too far.
What did they do to it? Aside from clearly make it very ill.
This is prolonged exposure to the chemicals that they have given to you, given to everyone. It's a Band-Aid fix, if that. They die rapidly. They make it go sick and blighted, and it hurts them. Hurts me just looking at it.
Yeah.
But, and then she swipes the picture to the side, and you see, it might as well even just be a completely different picture taken on a completely different day. It is vibrant. It is, it's got the green leaves. It's got the violet violets. It looks strong. It looks revitalized, rejuvenated. It looks at its prime, at its peak. No pustules, no protrusions, no mutations of any kind. And it just looks like it was raised from the dead. This is what my experiment has yielded.
More than once, I assume?
More than once.
She nods. And she'll look up from the picture and just be like, it's beautiful.
Isn't it? This is just one out of a whole garden that I have. And they're still thriving. Not a single insect trying to mess with the inner workings of the plant walls. There's no mutations, nothing. They are completely perfect and completely chemical free. But I know that there's going to be difficulty trying to get this out there in the world. Do you really think that corporations such as Wayne Tech wants this? Or do you think they want money?
Well, if the plants die, well, if the bees die, then the plants die. And eventually the animals die and the people die. I mean, I doubt they're looking that far ahead. But that is a valid argument in my head.
But you have common sense. You're smart, Sage. We're very alike, you and I. I see that. You get it. The others, they don't. They're greedy, self-centered, and short-sighted. They don't think about their consequences. They don't think about the pollution that they create. They don't think about how many of them they are killing. They don't care, not a second thought. And then when it's too late, that is when they will cry and wail, "Oh, woe is me. How did it ever get this far?" It is going to be an uphill battle. And I'm looking for people that will join me when the goings get tough, because our world deserves it. Mother Nature deserves love in return. She's provided for us for so long, even after man has abused and raped her of all that she has. It's our turn to give our love back.
I hear what you're saying. And I agree that there definitely needs to be a better solution. Like, I'm not willing to just give up and die because of a bunch of selfish corporations. But I do, I guess I just need to see more. This is wonderful and it's beautiful, and I'm so impressed that this works so well. To be honest, I don't know you very well. I just met you. As much as we seem to have a lot in common.
I understand. I understand that this is a lot, and that, yes, we have just met. It's just... All right. I promised myself that I wasn't going to do this, but because I trust you, I think I'm going to show you. Bring me one of the dead plants, or ones that are close to dying. I will show you.
She tilts her head, kind of considering this, but I'm sure there's something that's really close to death. So it's not like it's going to be, something that she doesn't think she can save.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that even if it dies, it's still not much of a loss.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And yeah, she'll walk up. We'll say it's a what was I was trying to come up with something that would be common to
A
find.
succulent?
Sure, one of those. I can never remember what they're called, but there's different ones. But yeah, she'll bring over something like that in a little pot that it had been set aside inside for her to try to nurse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's droopy. It's the color is draining. Insects, if they were permitted to get close to it, would be all over it, and there would not be a trace of it left. But because of the controlled environment, it is a slow death for this thing. And Ivy's face upon seeing this, it's immediately just... It's like she just saw someone with a terminal illness, or someone with a significant physical impairment, and it's just oh, that poor baby.
I agree.
What have they done to you?
I'm not sure what the problem is here, aside from it seems to have a variety of different illnesses going on.
Oh, she steps forward and kind of caresses her red painted nails along the leaves, and it rustles, surprisingly. Not strongly, but it still moves. You poor thing. You poor baby. Shh. Shh. It's all right. It's going to be okay. You see her hand kind of disappear into her pocket, and then she brings out what looks to be like not even half, like a quarter of a handful of some kind of powder, soil, something. It looks natural. It smells like mulch, but not at the same time. It's weird. It's kind of got this dark red, almost to the point where it's black, but not like a sinister black, just an oversaturation of red. And she sprinkles that around, and then she kneads the soil as if it was kind of like bread, but she does so extra gently. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. I know. She's kind of talking to it as if it was a baby or
yeah,
child.
I mean, to Sage, this comes off as odd, but considering that she herself can talk to plants, it's not as weird as it could be.
Do you have a watering can?
Only about 85. As she offers a smile. And she'll go to get one and fill it up because they're probably all over the place. It's a garden.
Mm-hmm. Well, she will find one very easily. It is filled with, water and some kind of plant, not the
Food of some
chemicals or
sort.
anything. It's just like fertilizer.
Yeah, she'll tell her that this isn't just straight water. It does also have some plant food in it.
Oh, that's all right, as long as it's not that Wayne poison.
No, it's one of the natural ones I made.
Oh, you're a darling. And she will take the watering can and she will generously allow the water to fall down the plant over its leaves into the soil, and then it soaks in. And then she steps back and she just watches.
Yeah, join her and watch it, because if she's watching, then it means that maybe it's a fast worker. So
Yeah.
watch.
She speaks as she's watching. She doesn't look at you. She's watching intently on the dying succulent. But she says, "We're in an age now where flying cars could exist, where miraculous inventions could be made. But this, it's almost like magic." And you see, as soon as she says the word magic, you see that the coloration in the plant, it starts off at the base, and then it slowly begins to rise as if it was filling up, in a sense. It begins to get its vibrancy back, its greenness. You see that it goes from a flaccid, kind of unhealthy droop to stiffening up into a appropriate position according to its species. And within 5 to 10 minutes, yes, that's swift. It has been not only brought back from the brink, it is in its prime.
Yeah, she's watching this the whole time, and as it starts to become all kinds of green and really pretty and stuff, that jaw drop of wow, because she didn't
Yeah.
expect anything to be that fast. And she's going to kind of reach out to touch it, to kind of, to feel and see if it feels the same way it looks, as in firm, healthy.
Yeah, you can analyze it however you wish, but it feels in its prime. It feels healthy. It feels well fed, well watered, well tended. A little on the wild side, like you notice that maybe some of the pruning that you did, or some of the things that you may have done, or the other gardeners. Let's be honest. They've come back. It's not a domesticated plant.
Okay, yeah, she'll actually, after the jaw drop, and she pulls her jaw back into position, normal position. She'll just kind of look towards Ivy and it's not just back to its original condition, it's completely natural again, I think.
Yes, it is. It's how it was supposed to be.
But sometimes things do have to be pruned to get rid of, parasites and such. But I don't think there's any here now, so that's fine, but wow. How does it work so fast? Normally it takes days to get something like this into the plant.
It's a miracle.
Or magic.
Nature provides. if we know where to look. So much has been lost in the raids, in the fighting. So much deforestation and pollution and clearing. Our planet is dying rapidly. I can hear her crying. I can feel her hemorrhaging.
She
And then I
doesn't at all
found-
have a. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And then I found the answer. It was there all along. We are surrounded by it, and we had no idea.
Well, that makes me curious. That's if we're surrounded by the answer.
Yes. It's difficult to obtain, but it is in an overabundance of supply. We'd never run out. Not really. And if these plants, if we do this, Sage, if we can do this, you and I, Uncle Greenie, the others, if we make a stand, if we do this, we might just be able to save them. To save her. Don't you want that?
Of course I do. Of course I want that. I see the end as well as anyone.
She takes hold of your hands, and her hands are warm, and you notice that maybe it's some kind of birth defect, maybe, or something. But she has maybe pronounced veins, but they don't look like veins. They kind of look more like the veins of a plant. And she looks into your eyes, and they are a mesmerizing aurora of vibrancy.
Yeah, she's just gonna look at her and be like, "What are you?"
I am the answer, Sage. I know what you are. I know.
Well, I don't know what you are.
There is no one like me. I'm the only one as far as I know. I'm nature's chosen. Her daughter. Her last attempt. If I fail her, they win. And we die. Man would have won. And they will rule over a barren, dead rock, successfully having killed the mother that bore us all. I can hear her crying. I can hear her weeping as the clouds in the sky choke her. I hear her scream when the drills dig deeper than ever before and rape her of her most precious resources. I feel every fracture, every injustice, every vile thing that man has done or is doing. Believe me, Sage, we are dying. And we are dying fast.
Yeah, I mean, she nods. She's certainly moved by this. It's just difficult for her, even though she's got this tree thing going on, she's also got a science thing going on.
Mm.
So it's kind of like, I would say it's probably not hard to see that she's clearly conflicted. And she just kind of, she'll just kind of, she'll actually squeeze her hands just a little and just be like, look, I want this to be true. I do. I've seen it that it works. I haven't seen the long-term effects of it. I love that you've saved this plant. I think it's amazing. And I'll be so happy when I can plant it back outside when it's spring again.
What more do you need, Sage?
I need to know how it works.
All right.
Because you've gone on about the chemicals that Wayne Corps is giving us, and clearly if it does what you showed me, that's horrible. I haven't seen that effect just yet.
They don't want you to. They're hiding it.
She nods. That could very well be a thing. Corporations are like that. I need to know how it works to know that that's not going to have some kind of other awful effect.
She seems desperate. She tightens her hands on yours. I want to show you. I do. I really do. But I need to be able to trust you. I need something. Because if you can't be, and any information is leaked, that's it. We are the minority now. The enemies are looking for the tiniest window of opportunity, and they will find it if we let them. I can show you. I will show you. But if this is your reaction, you're just going to be left with more questions. And I don't have time to answer them all.
I spent what felt like an eternity waiting for my chance to come back. I am patient. I am patient as any tree. I see that that's not your way. I'm not sure what to say at this point.
It's not my way because it is not possible anymore. We don't have time. We, the world, do not have that time. Our time is now limited. Something is coming. And if we don't do anything, there's no use in fighting.
What if I give you my word that I'm not going to tell anybody about this? Does that count for anything? And I just mean what you've told me at this point. I would make the promise for further more than that. More than that. And if you know anything about what I really am, you know that that's important to us.
Yes, I know. Just promise me that you'll be on my side.
I can't. Look, I'm not going to go against you because I think you mean very well. I just need to know more. I cannot make a decision based on just this. Not that it hasn't been wonderful. I need to know more about it. You have to understand that I'm looking at the long-term situation here. What if I make this decision and then we're just relegating the world to something even worse than no bees?
I need to earn your trust. I understand. Promise me that once we go down this path, once I show you, once I reveal to you what it is, that you won't harm the process. Promise that you won't
I won't get into
jeopardize
it.
what I'm trying to do.
Yes, I will make that promise. But I can't promise to actually support it until I know more. Is
That's
that
okay.
fair?
As long as you just yes.
Okay. Then I make that promise.
And you bind it.
See, I don't quite know how that happens. How do
So
I do that?
you all you have to do is spend a glamour point. That's all you have to do.
And tie myself into not going against Poison Ivy, even if she turns out to be an evil bitch.
Yes.
But it's a legit choice at this point. She needs more information.
Yes, absolutely.
So yeah, she will. She'll spend the point of glamour, her very first point of glamour ever,
Mm-hmm.
and she'll make it officially an oath, I guess you could say.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. You feel the energies within you, that weirdness kind of why don't you describe the physical sensations that you go through?
I would guess based on what she is, it probably feels a bit like, when someone has say a fallen branch from a tree with leaves on it. It probably feels kind of like a tickling of those leaves as they brush it across your skin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's how I imagine it feeling, as it kind of works its way from maybe from head and from foot and kind of meets together in her heart, because that's where an oath should be at.
Yes. Yes, that's perfect. That is the physical sensation that you feel when you consciously invest a point of your power into this promise. All right. I have a secret warehouse. And in there, I have some people. They work for me in secret. Why don't you pop on by tomorrow night? I'll get everything set up. I'll make sure that the preparations are in order. And then you'll be able to see the cure.
She nods. Thank you.
Thank you, Sage. You won't regret this. You'll see. You'll see.
You're very convincing.
Desperation, I suppose.
And sincerity, I think.
I know that you care about these plants, my children. But
Well, if plants are your children, would that make me your child? Because that's an interesting thought.
we all are, really. Some more than others.
Can you see me as I am? Or how do you know this?
The mother knows. So I know.
It's too
And
bad. I think you'd like the way I look.
I may not be able to see you with my eyes, but I see you. I feel you. We know. We care. We're trying to save you.
So am I, in my own small way.
Be careful of man. They are all predators. Each and every single one of them. I don't want to hear stories or excuses or exceptions about how a few bad apples doesn't spoil the bunch. No, it's not true. Not what we see. Not what we feel.
Can I ask you something?
Yes, of course, of course.
I was in a strange situation recently. And you and I have a feeling we might be more kin than I realized at first. So I'm going to ask you, and you can tell me that I'm stupid if you want. I heard a voice in my head at some point recently. It told me to be careful going down there. There's none of us down there.
Down where?
I may have been there in a lovely basement when something terrible happened to the Riddler that I definitely had nothing to do with.
You don't have to lie to me.
No, I'm actually telling the truth. I may have been there. It does include that I was there, and I really had nothing to do with what happened to him. I was just there.
I'm not going to cry. He was a horrible, horrible man. The things he did. I can't even speak of them.
That's what I've heard. But I was only there to protect my brother. So. Had nothing to do with that man.
No, I know you wouldn't. A voice. What did it sound like?
See, I'm not quite sure how to. She would try to describe it, but I don't know what the right words would be at this point because that voice. She's heard it, obviously, but I don't know. Brandon could tell me what it would sound like.
Was it sinister? Did you feel uneasy?
She felt uneasy because there was a voice in her head that didn't belong to her.
Right, but did it sound demonic? Was it?
It was very watery, like if someone was speaking underwater.
Okay. So yeah, she'll say it sounded like someone was like in that old Harry Potter movie when you hear the talking underwater.
Right. I mean, it could be the mother. It could be the mother. I'm not sure. I can try to figure out more, but I don't know.
But it wasn't you, at least.
No.
I mean, it seemed like it was meant to be a kind warning. Don't be careful. We're not down there. I mean, whoever they are.
It's definitely strange. I'd be careful, just in case.
I am. I'm just also asking questions, and well, if the right people hear about it, then I suppose I might get a visit from that voice.
If the wrong people hear, the wrong people might give you a visit as well.
True. I guess it's a risk I've got to take when I hear a random voice in my head. But I'll be careful. And I'll see you tomorrow for sure.
Yes. You won't regret it. They give you they verbally tell you the address. You can put that into your phone. You can write that on a piece of paper or on your skin. And she seems really concerned, but she will leave. And as she does, the plant that she brought back from the brink still radiating vitality, still in its prime. It has not drooped or deteriorated in the slightest during that whole moment.
Got it. So I know she's left. Did you have anything else for me, or can I ask for something at this point?
You can ask.
She was actually going to take home that particular plant with her.
Yeah.
And-
Yeah.
Okay, because she's not going to do this there because she knows that there are spies there, like a certain spider. So, there might not be spies at her house, at least. And well, of course, she's staying on the yacht or whatever. And she's going to spend a willpower to try to talk to said plant.
Sure, absolutely.
And she'll just kind of. And
Do you
as
need
I just.
to roll?
No, it's not a roll. It's her. It's her
yes.
birthright or whatever. Yeah.
Yep.
So she just spends the glamour. If she wants it to do something for her, then I have to spend another one. But
Yeah.
just to talk. And she'll reach out and kind of touch the plant and just say, well, it's not so much saying because I described in there specifically how the language works. She's pretty much has to stand and she's like, looks crazy while she's doing it, probably. Shaking her arms and whatever.
Yeah.
But she'll just be like, hello. Sorry to bother you if you were sleeping or something.
No, I feel strong.
What did you think of that stuff? Did it feel natural? The stuff she gave you?
Yes. More.
I don't have any more, but I'll see what I can do. She is very secretive. I have other kinds of fertilizer I could get for you.
Keep me safe.
I promise, I will.
No want wilt again. It not good. Cold.
Oh, as in, okay, you don't want that chemical anymore.
No.
That nasty stuff.
Yes.
I'll keep you here as a matter of fact. I'll keep you here so that nobody can accidentally give it to you, okay?
Yes.
Good. Did she make you feel safe?
Yes.
Okay. Do you mind if I take a little bit of the soil that you have? Just a little bit, and I'll give you some more back?
Okay.
Thank
Just a little.
Just a little. And I'll make sure you get more. Not a problem. You will not run out.
More.
I'll ask her for a sample when I see her next, okay?
Yes.
See if she'll give it to me. Or maybe I can pay her. Who knows?
Nice lady.
I'll tell her you said so. And yeah, I pretty much told her what she needed to know, so she's just going to take that, just a very small sample and put it like in a little bag.
Mm-hmm.
And then she'll get some of the best soil because she would only have the best stuff for her stuff at home anyways.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll put some more in there. It won't be exactly the same, but at least it won't run out or whatever.
It'll do.
So
Yeah.
it'll do. And she'll just look at the plant and say thank you for letting me take that.
Thank you.
And then she will find the sunniest place that she can find that is appropriate for this plant and put it like in that window.
Mm-hmm. You kind of you don't hear words, but you hear the kind of sound that one would make when they are stretching out in the sun, like a nice stretch.
She'll smile because that's a very happy sound.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, she'll let that be for the moment and go get a shower.
Yes, yes. So you go, you disrobe, you are in the shower, the water is running over you. Your thoughts, your emotions, what you witnessed has never been done before. You don't know who this woman is, yet she seemed to know what you are. She seemed to connect with the same passion that you do, perhaps even more. She's strange, yes, but there is no denying what she did this evening. And the fact that she has others, a warehouse even, something is in motion. You just don't know what. There was no hint of malice or trickery or deception when it came to her. Desperation, concern, uncertainty. Those were easy to detect. She was a very strange, yet almost hypnotically stunning woman. The way she smelled, the way she looked, the way she sounded. And even when her hands clasped onto yours, even that was intoxicating. Her visage is at the front of your mind. Her voice still rings in the back of your head, and you can almost still feel her hands in yours. A phantom embrace of sorts. The water continues to cascade down. It gets rid of the soil that has built up on your body, the dirt underneath your nails as you scrub and continue your hygiene. Some of it is washed away. Most of it is washed away. But you are left wondering, what's next? What is this? The camera will retreat as Sage ponders as to what it is she has gotten herself into. Thank you for watching Gotham by Night, episode Green Thumbs.
And so ends our current session of Gotham by Night. We hope to see you all next time.